My name is Ґрем Рівлі. I come from the north of England and I'm a retired veterinary surgeon. Initially I was obviously taken aback and upset, but it didn't make a big impression on me until I learnt about the help that the Ukrainians needed in fighting the war against the Russians. And since then I've read a lot of books about Russia, about Ukraine, and that has been my aim is to help the Ukrainians as much as possible. A lot of local people from the north of England and the south of Scotland had been involved in an organisation called Pickups for Peace, which they were supplying vehicles to the Ukrainian military, and just in discussions with people who had done that trip, they had found it very eye-opening and rewarding, and I decided I should do it, which I did in September 23. So not that soon after the beginning of the war, but into the war. As time's gone on and I've come more and more times, I think I've been 8 or 9 times now, I've just met more interesting and nice people, and I have to say that the real driving force that came in February this year when I met Dennis and decided that he needed all the help we could give him. Understanding is that the Ukrainian military is not that well supplied in vehicles or vehicles that can fight the sort of type of war, the mobile war that is going on just now. And in the UK we have a lot of 4x4 vehicles. In Europe there's a few, and I believe in Ukraine at the start of the war or during the war there was very few available, and that was what has been repeatedly asked for, is 4x4, reliable 4x4 vehicle. Minor challenges. Acquiring vehicles has become slightly harder in the UK because there obviously is a market for these sort of vehicles to come to Ukraine. I know Pickups for Peace have delivered 500 vehicles. I'm sure, I don't know the whole total, but it certainly has taken a lot of vehicles out of the UK market. The driving is, the 1,000 miles we drive on the continent is not too difficult. Customs, Polish customs can be particularly difficult. Ukrainian customs are not as easy as we think they could be, but we overcome that. So no, once I got used to Dennis's driving, everything was been fine. I think the unpleasantness comes about by the death and destruction that is about. We've been to the Field of Mars graveyard several times in Lviv. I've been to Independence Square in Kyiv and seen the flags for the dead soldiers, and I've been shown a lot of the destruction around about Kyiv when the Russians initially launched their attack, and just I think the sadness looking at a lot of the people, a lot of the Ukrainian people, they are remarkably resilient, but understandably sad looking. I think probably that is something we often don't know a lot about, what the success of what the vehicles we supply. It's really word of mouth that we hear that they are very useful, and the appreciation, certainly when I've been at any handing over ceremonies or handing over of the vehicles to the soldiers, how happy they are to receive a vehicle for their use. The guide we had in April was particularly good, right? No, Ostroh is a very interesting town or city. The academy, I've had a trip around the academy, the museums, the market I found very interesting. Ostroh is a very interesting place. As long as, yes, as long as it is needed, it is appreciated, which I'm sure it will be, and as long as my wife continues to allow me to come. Wow. I just feel that in my last 18 months of learning about what has gone on and the difference in culture between Russia and Ukraine is so immense that it would not be acceptable for the Ukrainians to go back to living under Russian influence or occupancy. It would be a step back into prehistoric times, so we've got to make sure that all or as much as Ukraine stays westernized as possible. There's plenty of opportunities for people at home to join organisations, whether it's through pickups for peace, contacting myself, James Baird, there's lots of people running little organisations to help. A lot of people back home are worried about the risks of coming here. I have never felt really in any danger, and I don't believe the risks are that much greater than they've previously been.